Alright, now I'm going to take my meter and check the battery and see if the voltage regulator is putting out properly. The only other thing that you have here that could be a problem with charging is going to be the starter generator itself. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Kart Smart TV. And this time I am working on, let me cut the span off. I am working on a 96 club car gas. And when the customer dropped it off to me, he said that the battery wouldn't stay charged and it was hard to start. Really rough on running, he said, when it did run. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing fired up. Alright, now I'm going to take my meter and check the battery and see if the voltage regulator is putting out properly. Well, I would say that would be a no on the voltage regulator putting out. So, we'll kick this battery charger back on. I'm going to let it do its thing for a little while. And what you want to do is, there's a lid right here on the box in the club car. It's got a screw in it right here. I believe it's either 5/16 or 3/8. Pull this out the way. Your voltage regulator is sitting right down inside that box. We're going to get this replaced and come back and see if we fix the issue here, which I'm just about certain we will, because the only other thing that you have here that could be a problem with charging is going to be the starter generator itself. And normally it's not your culprit. 99% of the time the starter generator is not the problem, but do have that 1% that could be, but we're gonna get this thing replaced, guys. And all right, guys, got the old voltage regulator out and the new one put in. Got it all wired back up. Giving this battery just a moment to do its thing. See if we can find out if this thing's gonna charge or not now. Alright, guys, so you just seen where I tested the new voltage regulator and it did not work. And so earlier in the video I said that 99.9% of the time it's a bad voltage regulator, and maybe 1% of the time that it's a starter generator. Well, we're here at the 1% because our charge wire is completely sunk below, and more than likely it got grounded out inside of here, and now it's not going to allow it to charge. So we're going to get this thing off of here, open it up. More than likely that's not being fixed, and so we'll end up having to put a new starter generator on for this customer. We'll be able to put the old voltage regulator back because I'm sure it works fine. It looks good. If it don't charge, then you got to come back here and inspect your starter generator and do some tests with your multimeter to see, because it can be several different things here. The field winding could be grounded out. Your brushes could be grounded out. Even this area here can get grounded out, which obviously looks that way here. So it could be multiple things that's wrong with these. So, you know, if you don't see anything like obvious right off the bat, you still want to run through and do some testing and see what you kind of got to work with, because if you have grounding on this side, you can certainly fix it. If you have grounding on this side, if you have the ability and the parts to do it with, you could fix this side too. But if you can't, if it comes to this side, you know, we put a new starter generator on for our customers. That way, you know, they got back to new again. So, all right, guys. So we tore into this starter generator to see what we had going on, and here is our problem. Right there. That's your charge wire that goes back to the voltage regulator, and it is pretty much melted completely out of place. It's detached from its normal area. Actually, it looks like it's melted the brush wires right into it. And, we put the new one in, did the test, and we are definitely charging again. And so, you know, like I said, 1% of the time we have this issue with the starter generator, and more or less, sometimes these connections here, where they have the double nuts on them to hold the stud in, the bottom part that holds the stud tight will work itself loose over time, and it'll begin to move inside of here and could cause, you know, shorten out between the brush assembly and the charging area itself. And it can also happen to any of the positions where your wires are connected. Okay, we're going to give it one last check here before we take off outside riding it around. And keep in mind that this has probably sucked the absolute life out of your battery. So you may need to come back and put it on charge, for the battery on charge, for a while before you know, take off again. But like in my case, I was able to jump it off with the charger, get it running, and hopefully with using the charger and the golf cart running, we'll have battery voltage back with no problem. So we're going to give it one last check and see what happens. Alright, there we have it. Got it charging. So, you can see that sometimes it's a bit of a headache. Generally speaking, that the voltage regulator is most of the time your culprit on why these things quit charging while they're running. In my case here, we found that it was not the voltage regulator, and that it was the starter generator that had went bad in the DF position on the starter. And so when you are checking the starter out, you can see that right there. That's where your little yellow charging wire comes into, and then that would be the lug that it bolts down to. Well, that's not the way that lug is supposed to be. And you know, I showed you a few minutes ago, but you can tell that that's just all melted, and everything inside of it's just been scorched. I expect some kind of short happened in here, and it's hard to say why this one did what it did. but you could have an issue in the magnetic field here. You could have an issue with the armature field, or it could have been an issue in this area here too. There's really not, other than the charging wire basically being pretty much burned off, or scorched just completely out here. It certainly is what our cause was. And guys, as always, hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there that's having a problem like this. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or give us a call. Like these videos, guys. Get them shared out there for other people to be able to maybe fix their stuff. And always hit that subscribe button, guys. That way you can keep up with us and help us out grow a little bit better in what we're doing. So we appreciate you guys watching. God bless you all.